On this with Senator Tommy Tuberville of the great state of Alabama. It's good to see you, Senator, as always. As you know, DOJ uncovered millions of illegal aliens on entitlement programs signed up by the lawless Biden regime. The first chance they got, these Democrats took our money, gave it away to illegal alien foreign nationals. Isn't that, Senator, proof positive that Americans can no longer trust our government with our money? And shouldn't you Republicans be doing something about that?
Exactly, Chris. I watched it for the last 4 years, the Biden administration. The politicians, the bureaucrats, they fought us, most of us Republicans, tooth and nail. Now, we do have some rhinos that would have gone along with them. We spent way too much money, trillions of dollars. It's an embarrassment to a country that is paid for by the American taxpayers. You know, President Trump, he didn't run and is not representing bureaucrats or politicians or judges or big corporations. He is actually representing the taxpayers of this country on both sides, Democrat and Republican. And so people forget that. And it's been an embarrassment for me to watch it as an American citizen of what the Democrats have done, tried to do. Luckily, we voted them out, and we're back on the path to winning again, as President Trump says. And Marco Rubio is a perfect guy to know that. He was in the Senate with us. He saw it. And now he's there trying to put the puzzle together to try to correct all the wrongs that were done.
Well, Senator, you brought up rhinos, and speaking of those fake Republicans, President Trump's pick to serve as U.S. Attorney for Washington, D.C. is reportedly facing opposition in the Senate Judiciary Committee by individuals like Tom Tillis, Susan Collins, Mitch McConnell, Bill Cassidy, and John Cornyn. Multiple online sources, including Mike Benz, a former cyber expert at the State Department, says that the chief of the D.C. court will pick the top D.C. prosecutor if the Senate doesn't get off the stick. That chief is none other than the rogue judge, James Boasberg. If this is true, why would these alleged Republican senators want to delegate that power to a left-wing extremist like Boasberg? Not to mention, why do they want to keep thwarting the Trump agenda?
Well, if you go back and look, Chris, this is the same group that we had to push through with Hegseth and several other of the cabinet members, and they fought tooth and nail, and luckily the American people won out in the end. Same thing here. We need this judge to be put on the floor, voted on, and let people show their stripes here. It's just embarrassing that President Trump can't get the people through very easily. We've had to fight for it, but this guy should go through very easily. As you said, if he doesn't go through, look at the consequences. My gosh, get off your high horse, quit worrying about your feelings, and vote for President Trump's people, because the American people, 77 million, voted for President Trump. I just do not understand how people put themselves first and not their constituents first because they voted for President Trump.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, get off your high horse or get off your donkey, the symbol for the Democrat Party. I mean, that's a great message for Cassidy, McConnell, and Cornyn. Trump administration, in the meantime, Senator, is saying that they will offer $1,000 to illegals who voluntarily self-deport. You know, I'm not sure most Americans are going to be happy to have to pay criminals to get them to get right with the law. I just as soon the federal government credit we American taxpayers with $1,000 for every illegal alien the government allowed to break into our country, to pay us back for the government's failure. Haven't our people paid enough for this ineffective government?
Well, we really have. The American people have really suffered. As you said, there's not 11, there's not 15 million, there's not 20 million. There's closer to probably 30 million people here that are not supposed to be here. They're illegal. President Trump's probably putting a little bait out there for them to say, listen, we'll pay you $1,000 to go back. Because, Chris, it costs much more than $1,000 to run these people down, transport them to the border, transport them to wherever they want to go. It would probably be a very big discount for us to be able to send everybody back for $1,000. It would be a heroic effort by the HHS, everybody involved, Tom Homan, to have this done because it is costing us a fortune. We're having to vote in $175 billion border bill just to be able to pay for all these people to go back. It would be much cheaper to do it this way. So I see what President Trump's trying to do, and he might get some people to go back, and that would be awesome.
Yeah, Congress could solve this problem tomorrow if they just pass laws to make it not easy for illegal aliens to be in the United States. No country in the world makes it easy for illegal aliens to live in their country. I'm not sure why we still do. Last thing, Senator, Maine is still allowing men to endanger women's lives and opportunities by allowing men to play in women's sports. It'd be nice, again, if Congress acted to do something about this. What do you suggest?
100%. It's my bill that we put on the floor 3 times in the last 4 years, Protection Women and Girls in Sports Act, to try to take biological boys and men out of women's sports. It's ridiculous. It should never happen. President Trump executive ordered this. They're not supposed to be in it. Of course, the governor from Maine, we all saw that in the White House of what happened. President Trump and the governor got in an argument. They're all for men playing against women. It's not just stupid, it's ignorant. People are just show their ignorance when they do things like this, because it goes against the way of life that the American people vote for, work for, and try to get their kids educated. This is a big part of education, sports, and they are absolutely ruining women's opportunities to learn the great things about sports by saying, you can't win, don't run, you're always gonna be playing for 3rd or 4th, we're gonna let men play in it, you gotta go to the back of the line. It's downright wrong, and the women vote for this on the Democratic side, and that's what's embarrassing. They could care less about what's going on. They care more about their party and their power.
Well, you ought to know, Coach, about the fairness in sports. You know, this is all part of the Democrats' war on women. Senator Tommy Tuberville, sir, always appreciate the time. Straight